So they might ban away something else and then look to first pick the Rampage. Or make Sunder ban it away. Then again, Sunder banned it last game anyway, first pick. So I don't think Sunder not highly values it, but Ragnarok is the most comfortable on it. So we'll have to see what sort of bans they look for. And we'll ban in a way the Decker. So Imports Backpack don't want to first pick it. They think there's higher priority heroes to pick compared to the Decker, but that does not mean they want to play against it. Decker, we saw in the lane, is very, very strong into those melee heroes themselves. So if they are looking for maybe a steal for Ridwaano, or not for Ridwaano, for Zeyn or something like that, then it's a good ban away.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure really on what Sunder decides to take away. They do want to take away the Richter, and that, the Rampage, that leaves, the Richter available for Imports Backpack if they do want to first pick it. Of course, you know, taking the Decker from a smart ban, you know, Sunder have to leave something open at least, and it just depends on Imports Backpack if they want to give that priority towards it. You know, they could even take the Quang for themselves in this situation, because we know that Import does like playing it inside of the jungle. So options certainly available, but there's also like that Bellica still on the board. But unsurprisingly, Richter is going to be that first pick for Imports Backpack.
This is a really good start because you ban away the Decker, expecting Sunder to ban away the Rampage, and that leaves Richter first pick open. And Decker is probably the biggest counter into the Richter. So this allows Imports Backpack to easily throw him into support. Obviously, you can still put it in the jungle solo lane if something else comes up. It does leave the Bellica online for Team Sunder though, and this also leaves the Krang open. So we'll have to see if they want to rerun it back. And JBoy, outside of the jungle interference, he actually played quite well in lane.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think as well that something like the Quang is probably what you definitely do not want to give to Imports Backpack 100%. So it wouldn't surprise me if Sunder do want to take it now, because as you said, you know, JBoy had aside from those early ganks, you know, didn't have the worst of games as well. And also we know what can happen when a Quang is able to get ahead. And I think maybe that's just the obstacle that Sunder need to kind of overcome, really, is they actually need to stay in this game, because that was just a complete wash by Imports Backpack across the board.
Yeah, and I think Bellica is just a lot better than Gideon. I personally don't rate Gideon that highly in this meta. I think he falls off way too hard and doesn't do that much in the early game anyway. But speaking enough of that, we're going to have Sevrog being picked up again by Noz. He played pretty recently on the Sevrog. I don't think there's any reason not to pick him again. Obviously, he's going to go into that Krang once again, which he's going to have to weather that early game storm from the Lightning God. Well, not Lightning God, that's Zeus. That's an entirely different game with Krang himself. And we're going to pick up the Wraith for someone. Could it go mid?
Yeah.
Could it go ADC for Julie?
Absolutely, and I don't think we've actually seen Julie pilot this Wraith as well, that was another a pick available as well. So maybe, we might definitely be seeing Wraith being piloted by the Julie. Kira is going to be taken away though, so Sunder wanting to give Mettboy their ADC before this next phase of the bans as well.
That's really interesting because Murdoch is still available, and Mettboy obviously loves that Murdoch. It wasn't really his fault he wasn't able to get into that game due to the unfortunate circumstances. And Kira, I mean, I don't know, because she hasn't got best wave clear. Wraith himself doesn't have great wave clear anyway. Richter can help him somewhat, but I don't mind it too much. She's pretty good against those tanks. She has a good amount of damage, especially to go back to side splitter, something like that. So I don't mind it too much. I do enjoy watching her as well, because she's a really fun character to watch. And we're going to get the ban. So it's going to be Gideon from Team Sunder, expecting that Wave to go into that ADC role by Julie. And Muriel for Imports Backpack, basically confirming that Richter is probably going to be played by Zeyn in that support role. And what I want to see Imports Backpack here do, put the Wraith into that mid lane, because you've got the Richter Sevrog, which has quite a lot of magical damage anyway. And then you can pick up another ADC, like the Drongo, which counters the Kira really strongly here. And that gives you a really good duo and mid lane. So you finally get the jungler from Sunder, and it's going to be that Chimera, a lot more aggressive in that early game, which is great to see. I really like this adaptation.
Yeah, and especially with Ragnarok as well, giving them a hero that they can carry on. You know, it's almost like, I mean, Ragnarok is a sort of player that's kind of I want to say that Ragnarok was the first player to bring out the Seraph inside of the jungle. I think at least in a competitive environment. I think earlier is like Fangbooth, I want to say 4, I think, also, or Fangbooth number 5. But we are going to see a howitzer in the mid lane for Julie. I mean, that could also be how it's a support. You know, this is EU after... No. I know it's not, but I'm definitely grasping at straws here. I want some EU picks, man. You know, I want to see something in a crazy lane.
But Mancu is in the next game. He'll pick up how it's a support like he always does. So we'll have it then, okay? So we'll just wait for that one.
That's a very good point. But yeah, how it's the mid lane. So Julie going to be piloting that Wraith inside of the ADC role as well. Just wondering for this last pick as well. So,
it's going to be the jungler.
Ooh, okay. We got for the Feng Mao to throw some spice. Fralcon, thoughts, feelings?
Not really an import pick, I think of. Obviously, he is an assassin. He's going to go into that backline and assassinate the Belica and the Kira. He doesn't play his greatest into Belica because as soon as he dashes onto you, the Belica can immediately seismic assault and knock you up. So it can be a bit painful to play, and he hasn't got the best time against Chimera. Once Feng Mao has used his combo, he is going to be susceptible to just Chimera auto-attacking him down. We'll have to see how that goes. Howitzer himself, I think, is pretty good into this. He can get away from...
Fralcon, you okay there, buddy?
Hang on, no, I just need to complete... Oh, so it's going to be a Belica support. Okay, so we're going to have Belica, Kira in the dual lane and Gadget in the mid lane for Team Sunder. I like that adaptation because that's going to be really strong against the Richter. As soon as he gets walks up, so you can seismic assault onto him. And that's going to be a lot of damage for that, so that's going to be good. Gadget, sort of the same thing. As soon as Feng Mao jumps onto you, you can use your Tesla Gate to route him up. I don't know how Gadget plays into Howitzer, and the main thing that I'm really concerned about the Gadget is you don't really have any setup for the Tesla Dome, so there's no way to lock them down apart from Krang's Tether, and if you were playing something like the Zaras here, I would really like it because obviously the Colosseum and the Tesla Dome we've seen previously in the past is a great combo. And as the comps are now rounded out, I'm going to have to give it Import's Backpack. I do like their composition a lot better than Team Sunder's.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of tools. And honestly, for a team like Import's Backpack, if they are able to take over the game like they did in game number 1, this is a composition that just kind of hold W's. It can move around the map. It has so much freedom to pilot and able to control almost any junction in the map as well. It's really on Sunder to find the plays here. You know, I feel that it's going to come down to that 2v2. You know, what can this Kwang and Chimera do? They've got a bit of a redemption arc being set up for them as well, but it's going to be a tough ask, honestly, to go against a very, very strong Imports Backpack team. But there we go, compositions rounded out. We've got the thoughts of Fralcon and myself on the drafts, but let us know in the Twitch chat, what do you think? Who is going to be taking game number 2? Is he going to go into the map, onto the battleground for hopefully a completely uneventful, technical, perfectly... Yeah, no, I've just cast a curse this. To High Hell and back. Sorry, Kana. I could just hear Kana, of course, running production, almost just...
That's quiet.
I'm sorry, Kana. I'm sorry. But anyway, it's absolutely fine. It's going to be fine. As actually, we do have a bit of a change coming for the side of Sunder, as it looks like Purple Swan is going to be stepping in for Ridwaano for this game.
It makes sense. Purple Swan is obviously someone who has played in the Fangbooth in the past, has played mid lane for Lorbe's Angels, and is pretty positioned in a lot of majors. Ridwaano himself prefers playing those tanks. So is he going to draft a Belica? Why not have Purple Swan piloted, who's probably a lot more comfortable on that character himself? So a really good change from Team Sunder, I think. Yeah, Team Sunder just the names top of the wrong way around at the moment. So that hopefully be fixed in the future. And now, level 1's happening. Again, I don't expect anything to happen, but we have to expect that Team Sunder with that Chimera has to be more aggressive in the early game. Because if they let Imports Backpack team scale, bad things are going to happen to them.
Yeah, this game just might be donezo, honestly. But of course, you know, maybe we are getting too far ahead of ourselves. It makes for a much more entertaining game with Sunder overcoming the odds and coming out of the gates flying as well. And I just want to go back to that point about Purple Swan as well. Just the power of having substitutes on your roster as well, especially as you say, I associate Ridwaano more with like the tanky plays, that Richter and the likes of Steel. But if you're playing the more enchanted support and you have someone on your roster that might be a bit more proficient or is just a bit more comfortable, by all means, switch them out. It gives you that flexibility. Kimbo, though, taking a lot of damage from this howitzer already, and Kimbo being forced in towards the river. Has to be careful. Gonna have to take the long blink over the terrain to get away from Wangle's level 1.
That's actually massive. That's level 1 blink being used. That's not going to be up until level 7 minutes into the game. That's going to be level 6 for those junglers. So already Kimbo is going to be massively behind because you have to reset as well. This is going to give Wangle the level 2, maybe even level 3 advantage by the time these minions come in. And basically that's going to give the mid lane over to Import's Backpack for the early game. Which, I mean, you expect it anyway. Howitzer has pretty good... Both mid laners have pretty good poke. Howitzer is probably a bit stronger. And with his autos as well, especially with his extra damage from his passive, he is going to be able to push in Kimbo quite a bit. It's going to be a question of what he can do with this lead down, though.
Yeah, just expecting Wangle to, utilize that, start roaming out that mid lane as well. Keep Kimbo pressured underneath the tower. And as you say, you're just able to leverage that priority. It gives you move in towards Ragnarok's red side jungle. That Fangtooth as well becomes a little bit easier to take when you have the mid lane prio. At the moment, though, Ragnarok going for quite an aggressive play in towards Import's the blue side. And Import has to back away. I think Ragnarok might have actually taken that... jungle camper. He's a little bit of a jump party, but don't worry, the House of Pain will be coming very soon for one of these teams.
Zeyn is on 1 HP. I'm not sure how that happened. It looks like a fight happened in the 2v2. Julie and Zeyn got that level 3 first, but playing really well, Mettboy and Purple Swan getting that back. So even though they were a level down, it went really well. And look where Kimbo is.
Yeah, we're seeing the low health bars. Kimbo able to make the moves to keep that mine landing on towards Julie. A good sidestep off the speed gates and the Seek and Destroy. Not quite having the damage, but their presence alone forced him to back away. But if you make a play left, that means Wangle can make the play right. He's looking to join up with Import as Ragnarok going for an aggressive invade here as Import's going to jump onto him as this Chimera is being booped about, knocked all over the place. Needs one more ability to hit the slow mines. Can't find the mark, but Wangle with a blink to find it with a basic attack. First blood to the Import's Backpack mid lane.
And that's going to go into Wangle as well, so he is going to be able to scale even better here. He has full control over this mid lane. He has 21 CS, same as Kimbo. Kimbo actually got a decent back, again, the alchemical ward. But that's not what you want to happen early game. Ragnarok really needs to be able to control this early game against Import, who is going to have time to scale. He's going to have to go that Mind Razor, so it's not great. That's the TLDR of this. This is not a good situation for Team Sunder to be in. And, I mean, level 6, they're going to have decent abilities, especially with the Tesla Dome and the Kira Bellico combo as well. That's going to be a very good kill potential onto Zeyn and Julie, which I would love to see. And, obviously, Fangtooth is going to be around that time as well. So, there is ways for Team Sunder to get in. But, again, that's a really good start and clean from Import's Backpack.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it goes back to that age-old competitive play of, you make one play left, I'm going to go and make the play on the right-hand side. But of course, Chimera being caught on that invade of that free camp. Thank you very much, Connor, for amending the top. And now everything is all gravy, baby. 5 minutes in, only the one kill as they on towards Wangle. But again, it's another a strong start for Import's Backpack. And for Team Sunder, as you say, is the onus is definitely on them to try and come back as Ragnarok looking to make a gank over on this left-hand side as the ambush straight onto Zeyn's Richter, but just not finding that follow-up just yet.
Seismic Assault going way too wide there. Purple Swan obviously has been subbed in for this game, so it might be a bit on the cold side of things for his mechanics, but you can't be missing it that far, unfortunately. So a little bit of a call out for Purple Swan there. Hit your keys, please. Thank you. As we go back into the game. And, I mean, yeah, it was a slight gank from Ragnarok, and now there's going to be one in return. Look where Import is looking.
Yeah, but good warding coming out from Team Sunder squad to know where Import is. Just walks over that ward, but he has cleared it, of course, with his own sweeper as well. It does mean that duo lane can play in a little bit more safety for now, but they also know that Fengmao is on that red side and looking towards that neutral objective, Fangtooth. You know, we're approaching the 6 to 7 minute mark where teams normally like to make a move towards it. Of course, 8 to 9 minutes might even be where the Fangtooth plays start to come in. Good combination, good riplash from Zeyn, going to connect onto Mettboy. The Purple Swan hits them seismic assaults and is able to get Mettboy out.
Yeah, that's the strength of Bellicate into the Victor. As soon as your ADC gets hooked up, you can instantly throw it out the seismic assault because Victor is going to be locked down relatively fast with that Rip. He has got some animated lock during it, so a very easy target to hit. And also, what sound like the Kimbo, they did lose that level 1 really hard, but have caught up quite well in terms of XP. Has now got level 6 the same as Wangle. And I mean, both mid laners have really strong ultimates, so I expect them to at least try and force the other one to use it and maybe try and rotate off of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about managing your resources. If you can make a play, Zeyn hits a riplash from such far away, and that's going to be Julie with the knock-knock getting the kill on towards Purple Swan.
Yeah, you can't seismic assault if you want to get hit. So that's another bad thing happening for Import's backpack. And I mean, when you look at the base state of the dual lane, Import's backpack have completely controlled it. They've had it next to the tower during this entire early game period, basically. And although this gives pressure for Team Sunder, it does mean that they are exposed every single time they want to go off the farm. But saying that, Import's backpack did do an early reset, same with Wangle. And this is going to give over a pretty much free Fangtooth for the side of Team Sunder. We'll have to see if Import's backpack is going to run over to that mini prime. We can see Import going there already.
Yeah, no, some good heads-up play by Sunder, as you say, able to recognize the reset and recognize they have an opportunity to do that neutral. I was a bit concerned, though, if there was a contest coming out there that Ragnarok was not level 6 as a landmine from Wangle hitting on towards Kimbo. Import's going to be there with the Reaping Dash to make it rain on towards this Gadget, trying to find the damage. Slow Minds can't find the R2000, and Kimbo just is able to walk away from that gank.
Yeah, good job using the tower to just completely block the Make It Rain from Wangle, and that is going to be his ultimate use as well. Obviously, nothing really on the map outside the mini prime to go for. JBoy also has complete control over that solar lane, basically forcing it, going under the tower as well. Can we just have a quick look at... I don't think we can, actually, because Wangle is coming over to the solar lane.
Yeah, and JBoy is already... I imagine the pings came out that Wangle is missing. But wants to make this play. Landmine boops JBoy straight back in towards those slow mines, but not quite got the howitzer damage online just yet. Unfortunately, Zeyn misses that riplash on towards Purple Swan, but Mettboy doesn't have the mana, not really able to follow up here. But Ragnarok, looking around, actually going to find Import with a recall inside of his own jungle. We were looking for the reset, but of course the information has been passed, and the dual lane do back away.
This game feels very similar to the last game. Very low in kills, Import's backpack having both of them, and the farm actually being rather even. There is a level difference on Import compared to Ragnarok as well, which was the same as last game. As things went last game, maybe not the best of Team Sunder, but I still think they have a lot better in terms of scaling this game. Kira and Gadget scale a lot better. Compared to their last game. Chimera obviously falls off as well, but he's still a pretty decently tanky target come that mid to late game, so I'm not too worried just yet. Plus, they got the first Fangtooth. That's the major difference in this game. They went for that early aggression. It didn't always work out, but they got the early objective, which is massive. Purple Swan, bye.
Yeah, Zeyn hitting yet another riplash. 3 in a row for the Richter support. Mettboy going aggressive onto Julie, and that's with the Purge, and a combination of Purple Swan's ultimate actually bursts and get the kill on towards Julie. Zeyn with the blink away, but Sunder are on the board.
That spoke way too soon. I am sorry, Purple Swan. He got recalled back into the team fight and decided, fine, I'm just going to shoot you instead. And you just knew it to completely take it out Julie. Mettboy coming back just in time as well, and having a decent amount of damage, but we're going to keep going as Howitzer goes into his ultimate.
Yeah, it looked like Ragnarok found him inside of the river, but he's just running around these slow mines looking for the blink away. 17 HP, but Import's Earth Shatter, even with an execute, definitely has enough base damage to get that one. But Import going back in has the reset on the Earth Shatter, but can't find it on towards JBoy. And but actually Import still survives as JBoy is the one that drops down. Noz is the one who's able to lock him up, and now Wangle on the hunt for Kimbo. Landmine does not throw him straight back, but just a little bit to the side. But there was a kill off screen. It looks like Purple Swan dropped in the left-hand side. Oh, replay.
That was a lot of chaos in a very short amount of time. I'm not sure what happened in the drill lane, so we'll just focus on that fight in the mini-prime area. So a lovely colossal blow meant that there was a disengage, but Wangle coming again, doing those rotations in this this early game has been excellent so far. And I generally don't. First of all, I don't understand how Import's ultimate did not kill JBoy in that start of it, and then JBoy. I mean, I'm assuming he just thought he had enough damage, but even if he went in there, you're trading 1-for-1. So, questionable decision there. Maybe a bit of desperation, hard to really say. And, I mean, there's one kill for Team Sunder. So, we're already evened out last game, which is great for Mettboy. Congratulations. But it's not looking great. So, we're just going to get a tab screen. And the biggest thing I want to point out is Import hasn't gone Mind Razor. He went the Malady, which it's going to be a lot worse for his sustain on mana, and it's probably going to scale a bit worse. But it's going to be a lot better for the early game progression, because it's just going to be helpful for him to get that clear, as well as being a bit cheaper, and also being able to stack up on that every time he does damage at below target, I believe 30% HP, it adds an extra 10 damage to it.
Yeah, very nasty as well, and with Import as well, just choosing his moments to go in, so, you know, able to manage that mana. But Sunder getting a second neutral objective here. A good heads-up play by Ragnarok. You know, he's slowed down on the gank plays, but on the neutral, can't really fault that, as they're able to pull and get that first mini-prime over on the right-hand side. Import just behind the Shadow Curtain, but a good ward coming out, and Kimbo is able to spot that one out. But, you know, Sunder, aside from the kills they find themselves in, they're keeping up with these neutral plays.
Yeah, they're playing a lot better this game compared to the last game. And the second Fangbooth has to spawn, so hopefully this mini-prime is on Ragnarok, which I expected because JBoy's not over there. He has got it. But Noz is already over here, so this is a 5v4, the same as last time. And JBoy's not rotating, so if they go in here, it is going to be a disadvantage fight between Sunder, and it is going to go over to Import's backpack. That's going to be evening out the Fangbooths of this game, and Kimbo might be caught out as well.
Oh, Wangle actually goes for the blink, play the landmine straight back, but a good blink away from Kimbo. Now the Make It Rain Tesla Dome is going to be thrown away, trying to get a kill onto Wangle. R2000 is going to find its mark every single time in the hands of Wangle on this howitzer pick. Another kill into their back pocket as well as their first Fangbooth.
You've got to be aware that as soon as the Fangbooth is over, they're going to be rotating if you're out of position. And Kimbo, although you were just outside the tower, was definitely out of position. Also used the blink and didn't even get out as well. JBoy at least trading out tier 1 tower for that second Fangbooth, but Import's not done just yet.
Zeyn currently going forward. Is there going to be the setback from Julie straight into the waiting arms of the skewer? Good seismic assault, and Zeyn can't find the Riplash. Now Ragnarok is here, so is Import. Ragnarok going on towards Julie with the unleash and with the call, finding the damage. That's the Wraith down. Now Import's in a spot of bother still. Ragnarok hitting onto him, but Purple Swan can't find the seismic assault just yet. Wangle coming in from the mid lane. This fight's still not over as Purple Swan looks to maybe face check onto that one. Good seismic assault, good block of the Riplash as well, and a blink at the last moment to get himself away, dancing with death, but Purple Swan keeps himself alive.
Purple Swan basically making that entire team fight all about him. He got that double knock-up onto the dual lane of Import's backpack just after the rewind happened as well, which completely negated all of their damage onto Mettboy, making sure he would stay alive. And then getting that Whiplash block as well as the blink over the land, the mines, sorry, meant that he just survived as well. So a really good set of plays by him. I'm really impressed by what he's doing so far. As we're going to get a quick tab screen, we haven't really been able to talk about things too much. JBoy actually gone on towards Stated Bastion this time. Finished 5 loss from last game, but instead wants to focus on that anti-heal against Noz. Make sure he has a bit more magical armor to go against him. I like the adaptation. It works really well against Severo's. Probably he's the best item counter against him. Plus it gives him that 12% damage mitigation if he has that tainted buff up.
Well, we see here that, you know, JBoy and Noz, not really a very interesting solo lane. On his right-hand side, of course, very different to game number 1 as well, with Import ganking there multiple times. JBoy, aside from that first blood play very early on, has been left kind of unchecked in our right-hand side, also taking the tier 1 tower. But as we saw, you know, Import's backpack rotating Noz in towards these fights and, did assist in getting their first Fangtooth of the game. Still looking on Zeyn to be hitting them Riplashes as well. It was a rare miss on towards Purple Swan at the tail end of that last fight. But a bit of posturing. There's no neutrals currently up at the moment, so just a bit of farming, not really wanting to step too far forward.
This is EU. We always know that there's a fight about to break out every 5 minutes,
yes.
so we'll see what happens with that. I want to go back to Import on this thing now, because the difference between his first game and the second game has been insane. He's ganked only a few times, got that double kill in that fight early on, which is really his only contribution, has got assist as well. But again, he just hasn't really done anything in this game, which is fine because we're playing Feng Mao. But I think we've got another fight. Here we go.
Yeah, Ragnarok going on towards Wangle. He still has the Make It Rain, does pop in. Actually, above the Tesla Dome, Epoch coming out from Kimbo, mitigates damage. Ragnarok goes for the ambush. Another Epoch stasis onto the Howitzer. And now it's going to be Ragnarok stuck inside between these two members. Urshat can't find the kill, but Wangle is there on hand. Now Kimbo, Seek and Destroy, is able to get the kill on towards Import. And Purple Swan able to help and get the kill on towards Wangle. And now it's Zeyn, who's in a world of pain. Sticky Mines, Seek and Destroy with their damage, and Purple Swan is going to get a kill for themselves. Sunder finding 3 for 1 in the mid lane.
That was a really good play by both mid lanes, getting those epochs, especially on the perfect timing, with Kimbo blocking the Make It Rain and Wangle blocking the coal from the Chimera, would have forced him down onto the ground and just extending his time. And also the great rotations to both supports. But Juli is also in danger, has gone invisible, but is going to just try and walk away.
He's going to try to, has to burn the blink to get away from the size sort of knockup, but it does keep Juli alive. We're able to get away. And also, for this duo side as well, we kind of threw down a gauntlet for Sunder as well. With kind of all of their lanes really struggling in that first game. But this has been quite a glow up across the board here. Much better showing from this Sunder team.
Yeah, it's like night and day, honestly. I think it's definitely to do with the fact that they aren't getting yanked 24/7, which definitely helps when it comes to this. But Mettboy, I mean, the problem is he has nearly 1,800 gold on him. He could finish Dust Devil if he backed, but the third Fangtooth has spawned, so he can't. And I feel like Sunder, if they really take this fight, might be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, because Juli has come back from base as well, actually able to hit the first peekaboo onto Purple Swan. JBoy with the rotation. Noz is also here, so a 5v5 potentially brewing. Noz is one who steps forward. JBoy looking for a tether, looking for an engage, but Ragnarok was on the Fangtooth the whole time. Noz hits the subjugate, but just can't find the mark. The Colossal Blow comes out. Wangle with the Make It Rain, and that's Mettboy out the fight already. Skewer comes down, but Tesdome does so much damage in return. His kills flying either side. Is a 1-for-1. Wangle strikes a pose in the Epoch to buy out time for the Stasis. But the Blink can't find it with the R2000. It was all a play. It was all calculated. Wangle getting that kill on towards Ragnarok as the fight still carrying on over the other side of the Fangtooth pit. JBoy looking for a kill with the Judgment of the Heavens. Purple Swan stuck between 3 members. Juli cashes in and gets a kill. 3 members fall for Sunder.
Wangle again with another amazing Epoch. Used it to completely block the mine and has to survive. The blink over nearly was a genius play. We all thought he would be going over onto JBoy, but he decided to just make sure he was not far enough away completely intentionally. And definitely
absolutely intentionally. Absolutely was the plan.
Yes. So it was surviving there. And again, Mettboy just could not do anything in that fight. Got instantly blown up from the side of Import's backpack. So even if he had the next item, it would not have made a difference. Sunder got the second Fangtooth though, so that's something. They did get 1 kill in return. Again, Import backpack definitely won the team fights. But now, when the Primal Fangtooth does come out, Sunder is going to be in a better position than Import's backpack to take it.
Absolutely, and also with Ragnarok has just been really on point with these neutral timings. He's been starting up these objectives with Import's backpack unable to actually contest in those first 2 instances. This is the first time that Import's backpack have been around, and we've actually seen that 5 versus 5 fight. But as you say, if Sunder are able to get a sneak on towards that primal Fangtooth, it would take, of course, Import's backpack making quite the macro mistake in that regard. But that will be that 8% stacking buff, and now Zeyn looking for the play with the moon boots, able to go over Purple Swan. The setback comes in, but not there for the Riplash. Good Shadow Glide coming out from Mettboy, able to get the Kira away. Import was here. So is Kimbo, making their presence known on the left-hand side. In fact, all members minus JBoy in this left-hand side of the map. Trying to push it in, still looking for a play. Wangle's got to be careful though. Ragnarok and Kimbo are in the river, but Wangle's going to back away at least. But this is careful. Looks like tier 1 tower might be the next play. Is Ragnarok pushing in towards his red side jungle? He's actually going to go from behind the towers. This is going to be the play, but Zeyn's going to be aware of it at least. And there's Skewer, going to invigorate, comes out. There's the call, there's the CC. It's a 3 versus 1. Ragnarok doing what they can, trying to stack the passive, but he's just too far away from the rest of his team. He's done so much damage, but there's just no more follow-up. And Julie and Zeyn keeping themselves alive. Purple Swan and Mettboy do get the minions underneath the tower, but with Import here, the wave clear has arrived, and Julie just sidesteps to one, and Import with the hamstring, the slow, and gets a kill of his own. Mettboy returns the damage, keeping himself alive, and with that Dusker being procced, and Wangle, he's going to get the kill. Meanwhile, Kimbo taking down Wangle.
That was weird. That was very, very weird from both sides there. Ragnarok had no right going there as early. The wave was not pushed. He has communication on to his dual lane to know when the tower dive was going to be able to start. Because Mettboy and Purple Swan just could not walk up on behind the tower. He wasn't tanking the tower. He was behind it, and it was just an isolated kill. And then Purple Swan just taking tower shots for no apparent reason, looking to see if they could kill Julie. But it just made 0 sense. And then I'm not sure how Kimbo killed Import on the side, sorry. But at least Sunder got 2 kills back. And did they even get towers? Can we just have a quick check on the map, sorry? They did get the tower in the end, so that's something at least, as they are going to take it back. As we can go back onto the scoreboard, we don't need to see that.
There we go. Okay, right. It's fine. Come on, replay. You can do it. There we go. We believe. We believe. And this replay is back and working as well. 23 minutes on the board, 8 kills to 12. All tier 1 towers have fallen for both teams as well. Tier 2 towers are looking very healthy on the side of Import's backpack, but they have been rotating more frequently, so that would explain it. I mean, Zeyn with the moon boots is just making me chuckle whenever I see it.
A very large robot jumping into the air is never not funny to see, so always good fun. It gives him that extra move speed out of combat as well, which is something that people don't really talk about when you go for the grav boots. And I do like him on Richter. It means that you can gank a lot easier as a support. And obviously, a jumping hook is very, very cool to watch. So it has those style points, which will always give it up. But in any case, we're going to have a bit of calm for maybe half a second, because Rival Fangbooth is now spawning.
And Purple Swan's going to walk into all 3 members of the Import's backpack team, and he's going to be inside of Import's backpack as well. And kill on towards the Bellica with that Primal Fangtooth on the board once again. But the grouping up here, Kimbo pushing left-hand side. Import's backpack grouping up there, all 5 members inside of the mid lane. Mettboy, JBoy having to respect that and back away. 1 landmine from Wangle, 1 good subjugate is all they need, and Nod's going to find it on towards the backline, but can't confirm. But Zeyn hits the hooks, and also a double colossal blow throws JBoy back in towards the team with his teammates. That's going to be both of them falling. Wangle getting the kill onto JBoy. Now Kimbo has arrived. The Teststone came out. Epoch to strike the pose, but the fight was already over. Now Mettboy and Kimbo have to hold this tower against the rest of Import's backpack, who decide to back away.
I didn't see Kimbo might have got ulted by Julie there just to avoid the return back. Hard to say why that Epoch went out. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that front. But just a great play by Noz there, getting that double subjugate into that double colossal blow. Means that they didn't get that tier 2 tower, but they got a bunch more kills. Ragnarok is still dead. And they don't care about Prime and Fantasy, because all Prime is also on the board. And they prefer that so much more.
Also maybe the confidence as well, knowing that Ragnarok is only just approaching back on the map. They can take this all Prime, use that regeneration, actually contest the Primal Fangtooth. Mettboy looking like they're, I believe, recalling as well to take the reset. The objective taking a little bit longer than maybe they initially thought, as Purple Swan is here, but only Purple Swan sidestep Zeyn's Riplash, and that's all Prime secured for Import's backpack, with the grouping up, barreling through the river as well, over towards that left-hand side. And looks like going straight towards that Primal Fangtooth.
Why not? You're full HP, there's no real reason not to. You have got all of Sunder alive though, so you have to be careful with regards to that, and instead they realise that they know that taking this 5v5 could be a bit risky. They would rather go back, reset, get the money, get those extra items online, because they don't believe that Sunder can burst this in time. They do have a lot of damage, but they're just going to go for Nos instead, who is incredibly tanky at this stage of the game and has taken about -2 damage.
Just casually floats away from JBoy's engage as well. Looking for the pick though. Looks like we're going to be another 5 versus 5 fight outside the Fangtooth pit. All members from both teams
really
are surrounding here as Nox goes for the engage for a subject. Can't find it. Zeyn pushing forward as well. They're going to be booped up, knocked around, but they haven't dropped just yet. Nos still in the back line. He's tanking a lot. Pops the Razor back. The skewer comes down perfectly timed as well on towards JBoy, who still keeps himself alive. It's only the kill on towards a Chimera. Ragnarok is down. Now Wangle and Kimbo in a 1v1 on the edge of the fight. Landmine boops him back in, and that's going to be the kill for Wangle. Mettboy also falling. Imports cashing in on that kill. 4 members have dropped for the side of Sunder. And Imports backpack the freedom of the map, freedom to choose. Do they siege or do they go for the inhibs?
They're going for the inhibs. Why not? There's 4 people died. The only one alive again is JBoy, who is not going to be able to stop anything. I think they could finish the game. They got 2 minion waves here. They're going to go for it, I feel like. And, I mean, they're tanky. They have those minion waves. JBoy can clear these waves eventually, but they're all primed up, so it's going to be very tough.
Wow, just seeing that combination there as JBoy trying his best to clear the waves, trying his best to get them away from his core, but it is going to be all for naught. Imports backpack, another commanding victory. Are going to secure their spot in tomorrow's semi-finals.